Oh, I think I'm live here. Okay. I'm just testing out these different filters. So let's see what it looks like. This one kind of looks cool. This one's trippy. This one's cool too. I think I like this filter here. Let's rock with this filter, right? Seems cool. How are you guys doing today? Good. How's everybody doing? Everybody's doing good? Hello, hello. Someone says the hearts one. You like the heart one? Let me see if I can find the heart one again. Nope, that's not the heart one. Where's the heart one at? Was it that one? That one? All right, well, I guess we could keep the heart one. You guys like the heart one, so we'll roll with the heart one. It's kind of cool. Hey from Panama. So we'll do the heart one today. So look, so someone asked me if I could make a video about explaining about the concept of time and why the past and the future do not exist. And I want to paint a picture for you so you can really get it, because it's really important to understand the concept of time, man. Time is just the thing that can create a lot of resistance in our life. So let me attempt to make it very simple for you. Hey honey, how you doing, honey Jackson? Liking the filters too? Yeah, this is a cool filter right here. All right. So let me start off by showing you about how the past and the future are actually happening right now. And not only the past and the future is happening right now, but every possible outcome is happening in this moment simultaneously. So I'll do my best to make it very simple for you to comprehend, because it will come to help you in a great manner. All right. So if you take a picture, let's say you use your phone, right? And you snap a picture on your phone. When you snap the picture on your phone and you look at the picture, what is the picture? The picture is an image that's captured in the present moment. So anything I take is always happening now. So I take a picture on my phone. When did I take that picture? That picture only happened in the present moment. Now let's say 2 days go by and I show someone the picture and they say, oh, this picture was taken in the past. But when I'm talking about the picture and I'm showing the picture, when are we doing it? We're doing it now. See, so we have the past and the future are concepts that we use to identify like organization of what we call time. So when I say the past and the future, it's a reference point of something in a particular moment. So you hear the past, the present, and the future are all happening now. The picture I didn't take in the past. I snapped that picture in a moment. When I took that picture, it wasn't yesterday, it was now. Yesterday doesn't even exist. See that? So another way to put it towards you is, if we look at the world we live in. Let's look at your body, the biology of your body, for example. In your what you call your supreme mind, I call the subconscious the supreme mind, because it's so advanced and it can pick up so many stuff. Okay, so in the subconscious mind, it didn't develop a time variant. There is no structural time component in the subconscious mind, and that's a huge tip. That's a huge flag. We call it a red flag, because in the subconscious mind there can only be the present moment. And that should tip you off to understand that there is nothing happening outside of the moment. When you think of the past, you're thinking of it in this moment. And also when you're dreaming or thinking of the future, you're also doing it right now. What's really happening, what is making you believe that there's a past and a future, It's not that it's real. It's your brain organizing. It's called psychological time. Your brain developed that. So have you said to yourself, oh, it felt like a Tuesday, it felt like a Monday, it felt like 12 o'clock. That's called psychological time. It's not real. And to drive it further, you got to remember that everything is, we make stuff up. So like the days of the weeks, Monday, Tuesday, those are things we made up. They don't actually have any meaning or bearing in the moment. And to make it very simple, if you want to drive home at the past, the present, the future all at once, think about this. Everything that you ever done or will do, you can only do it now. You can't do something tomorrow, right? If I say do this right now, Wednesday, he's like, can't do it. But when Wednesday come, when are you doing it? Right now. Do this yesterday, can't do it. Yesterday isn't here. Yesterday is a memory. And the thing about the mind is the brain has memories. Memories are something I identify, but also memories are snapshots of a present moment. So hopefully that can make it a little simple for you to understand. You know, quantum theory is a little more complex, complicated, and we can go into a little bit of that. If you'd like, I can go into more, like a little detailed explanation of the quantum stuff about time and what we live in, what we call is a block universe, because you want to know about it. So the universe, so when the universe began, right? Well, I can't even say began because the universe doesn't have a beginning or end. But just to make this video or this live feed here, so you can understand stuff, is it's let's look at the universe as a part. Like there's parts of a movie. So we're in a part of the movie right now. So what's happening right now is this. When everything happened, it all happened all at once. So when the universe, like just say it existed, but everything happened all at once. There's no delay of anything. So that means everything happened all at once. Your death and your life are all in the same thing, all at once. Over here you're dead, over right now you're alive, but it's all in the same thing. So how do we know that? That's what we call the block. So look at a block. So the time and everything is like this block. In the block, if you look into the block, there's different coordinates in the block, right? Over here is going. I may use this tissue and show you. I did in my other video. So look, so this is the block. So this is how we see the block. We see the block like this. See? Because we can only see in 3D, right? But let's use your higher mind. The block would look like this. So in the higher mind, you would look down at the block. So if you look down at the block, you can see all of time right here. Look, here's your past over here. Here's the present, and here's the future. But look, they're all in the same block, and they're all right now. The only difference is the distance to them. They're called coordinates. So you got to go to coordinates, but they're all there. But if you're looking down, you don't have to travel coordinates because you see everything. But if you're looking like this, you're not going to be able to see everything because you got your eyes and your brain can't see the whole script. You see how that works? Got it? Let's see here. Oh, we have here. Step it up. So I sometimes I like to accept some I don't know, some people want to go live here. Let me see if I get some more requests. If I feel it, I'll go live. Sometimes it's a feeling. How you guys doing? So you see how that works with the time thing? Somebody wanted me to explain it. I was getting a lot of DM questions about that. How you doing? Hello? How are you guys? Oops. I'm getting some questions here. Hearts one. You're always cool too. You like the last live I put on the YouTube there? Glad you like it. But hello from Paris. You got a notification. Can you touch on ascension symptoms? Yeah, ascension symptoms. Some of the symptoms you're going to experience, you're going to feel a lot of loneliness. You'll have inconsistent sleeping patterns. Your body will be off. You'll feel a different energy, vibe, hormonal stuff, all tuned in ascension symptoms. Anytime you're ascending, you're moving up from a different state of awareness to another state of awareness. So your mind and body is always going to have some feedback loop. Honey Jackson, hi Mark. You're in sunny Isles, beautiful. Everything is great. What about anxiety when it comes to manifesting your desires? If you're feeling anxiety when you're manifesting stuff, it's an indication that you're incongruent with your beliefs. That means one of your mind is off. You should never feel anxious when it's the right thing to do. When you're believing or you're kind of sure of what you want, you should never feel anxious. Anytime you feel anxious, it's a point that your mind is putting you into a future that doesn't exist. Anxiousness is a product of the mind. The mind will always put you in the past or the future. So what you should do is center yourself to become more present. Right? You got to learn to do that. If you don't become present, you're going to have a lot of trouble creating what you want because you're going to be constantly distracted. Let's see who I have here. Request to join. Not yet. Let's see. Do you see how that works? Our eyes are basically the camera. Yep, your eyes see everything. You're learning to stay positive. Good. It's your beliefs. Your beliefs are very powerful. Mark, how do you not worry about what someone thinks about you? How do I not worry about what someone thinks about me? The truth of the matter is, you have to learn that what someone thinks about you is none of your business. You cannot let people do that. Let me tell you something about people, man. If you're worrying about how other people think about you, you don't have control of yourself. They control you. The way you got to look at this, guys, you're here in the physical form for perceive a short time. I mean, all of this really don't matter. I mean, it's really in the end, when we talk about the big picture, this is all like a game, man. Look at the bigger goal here. Like, who cares? In a few years, it will all be hundreds of years, all of this will be gone. Nobody will remember this stuff. So if you're thinking about what people think about you and it's bothering you, then you're not confident or instill confidence in yourself. See, the thing is, when you are secure in yourself, no, you don't care. Because if you know yourself and someone's talking, says something about you, and you know yourself is going to remind you that that's not true. Only the ego gets offended when it comes to stuff like that. So just don't care what people think about you and just be your authentic self. Is that why we think that it's a different way when we really are? Look, listen, you're not going to win everybody all the time. Some people just aren't going to like you. Some people are going to see you for the first time and don't even like you, man. That's just how people are. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't go out there and try to please everybody. If you try to please everybody, you're going to lose everybody. Just be yourself, guys. Who cares, man? You got to pretend like they're there but they don't exist and you're just doing you. That's right. Now is all we ever have. Can I turn up the volume? Yeah, the volume's up. Maybe if I talk a little bit into, you can hear it. Is worrying about what they think about us gives us our manifestation? No. You can't worry about what people think about you. Listen, man, if you're worrying a lot, you're going to create resistance. When you worry, you're going to attract what you're worrying about. Your mind is very trippy, man. The mind will try to use logic, but it's actually not logic. Because you're thinking like, oh man, I'm worrying about this. I don't want this to happen. That's what you're setting up to happen, because that's what your focus is on. Your attention is on. Your attention, man, is the secret ingredient to this stuff, man. I like to call attention and belief. Your attention and your belief is the ingredients to create your life. Talk about the attention and belief, guys. Your attention, beliefs, the driving force. Mark, my nephew's co-worker just won $5 million on a scratch off. Ah, congratulations. That's what it's about. It's a game. See how easy you can change your life? The lottery, your career, yourself, relationships. How come they're not in different blocks? Are you talking about time? The block is one concept. Everything just exists in a different spatial point, we call it, or spatial, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, all there ever is right now. If I'm looking around and all I'm seeing is now. You know? There is no future and there is no past. I'm aware of that. And you gotta become aware of that. Is everything happening for my highest good? Ever chance I get, I talk to my higher self every day. Yeah, you see, the thing is, what's the best way I want to put this so you can get this, man? We see the world through our own filters and our own lenses in our eyes, right? So check this out, man. If the way you see the world, right, the way you see the world in your head is going to reflect back to you in the physical. See, so that's why we're given the ability to have perception. Our perception, right? Your perception is just basically the unique way that you see the world. Now, if you check this out, if your perception is the unique way you see the world, and your perception can change the world, question I have to ask you then: what is the world? Is the world real? Is the world a perception then? Is reality the real thing? Because if you're telling me the way I perceive the world, I can change the world, and that's actually correct. Because what you see in your mind and you perceive it in the world, somehow the world kind of reacts to that and shows you things to create that, right? So you got to ask yourself, whoa, this stuff may be a little bit that I didn't know, or I wasn't aware of. So our perception is very key in the way we live our life. So you really want to start to focus on how you perceive your world. Hi Mark, how can I change in a minute my feelings? The first thing to change feelings is you're going to become aware of the feelings. Once you become aware of the feelings, now you have a decision or a choice. You can let the feeling feel it without judgment, or you can associate yourself with the feeling. So I suggest you let the feeling feel it without judgment and let it pass. The only time you should associate yourself with feelings is if it's something that is going to take you towards your goal. If it's something that's going to move you towards what you want. That's the only time you should ever take feelings personal or associate them with you. You should never associate feelings if it doesn't serve your purpose. Because the thing people don't understand is that the feelings are to get thoughts. People think that every thought they get or the voice in their head is them. It's not you. You cannot be that. You can't be something in the head and observe it at the same time. It just can't work that way. You're an observer. If you're observing something, the thing you're observing is what? When you're observing something, what is that? You are the awareness of it. It's like you are the creator. You're observing it. You're seeing it. You're seeing what's going on. Like, I'm in my car. I am not the car, right? Even though I'm in the car, I'm not the car. I'm the driver of this car. This car has its own thing. This car has an engine, all that stuff. So you wouldn't say, hey, that's you're the car. No. You would say that's his car, meaning that he is inside and he drives the car, but he's not the car. I'm aware of the car. I'm aware of the engine turns on. I'm aware of this, all the suspensions. I'm driving. I'm controlling the car. So I am the observer. The car is just there. It's just a car. It's the same thing with your thoughts, man. They'll come in, but the difference is we associate a thought as a real thing, and that's the trouble we get into. When you're going to associate thoughts as a real thing, you get into a lot of trouble, because most people, they associate negative thoughts as a real thing. Point blank, man. You see how it works? What is this question? Oh, you can do questions here. This is so cool. I start listening to subliminals and manage it for a couple of weeks. Then I get busy and stop doing it. How to make myself keep doing it? Willpower? No, the way to keep doing it, if you want to get it done, is to do it when you're sleeping. So just get in a mode where you fall asleep and you can play it on loop. That way you don't interrupt yourself. Because if you're stopping it, it seems like it's your subconscious creating resistance. See how that works? Someone says put the dots together. Yep. How do you center yourself to feel more present with yourself? The best way to center yourself to feel more present is to get out of your mind chatter. To stop thinking about the future and forget about the past. When the past comes, stop it, just distract yourself. When the future's calling, stop it, distract yourself. And just think about what's happening around you right now. Think about, what can I do in this moment? Look, I'm going to keep it real. You're fighting an uphill battle here, because you see, your brain always wants to put the future in you. That's how it works. Like right now, I'm talking to you. My mind now wants me to think what I got to do in the next 30 minutes to hour to 2 hours, right? It's doing that right now. It's planning my days. It says, all right, Mark, so we do this, then you go do that. It's doing all that stuff, right? I'm aware of that. You're aware of that. So what do? When that happens, you have to gain control. You got to remember, no. I'm not there right now. That's what I said in my mind. I said, look, no. I'm not there. I'm here. And as you guys know, I've done this technique or this module where what I do now is to help me is I never look at my days in a complete 8-hour, 12-hour. I go in my days in 2-hour blocks. I deliberately do that because it forces me to be more present. It forces my mind to push everything that I need to know now. So when 2 hours come, it's up, I jump to the next 2 hours, the next 2 hours. So I'm not looking ahead, because when you start to look ahead, man, you're going to get anxiety, man, because you're going to have all these things that could happen. Your mind's going to think, well, what if this? You're going to do that, da-da-da. Oh, I got to do that, all that. And that's going to take you out of the moment. Does that make sense? See how that works? So it's something that you have to be really, really careful. Daily practice. You love this filter. Thank you, Mystic77. Look, a secret, guys. Look, you got to set up routines. You got to have a routine. Your routine have to be something that's going to keep you in the present moment. You got to make routines. We all have routines. But how many of you specifically create routines that forces you to be present? I know y'all have routines. You have your journal routine. You have your visualizing routine, your affirmation routine, your subliminal routines. People have their gratitude routines. But how many people create a present routine, a time present moment routine? That's the most important routine. That's more important than all the other routines. It's more important than gratitude. It's more important than visualization and scripting and all that stuff. Yeah, it really is more important than that stuff. Because when gratitude, scripting, visualization, all of those things can only come in the moment. If you don't know how to jump from different realities, like being in this moment and going into the future self and coming back to this moment, then it's going to be a very difficult concept for you to gain peace and clarity of your mind. And bottom line is this: the reason it's difficult because your mind is always going to throw you around. So you have to have a routine that's going to force you to see the present moment as the only time. Right? So present moment is a routine you got to do. Somebody says I'm being what? 31st. Don't say waste time or energy. Rather say invest your time, your money, your energy. Set it as an investment and don't see it as a waste. Right. I like that philosophy. It's all about investing. Someone says, who's this? Caleb? So that was my what? Problem. I was being people pleaser and everyone is me pushed out. I learned a long time ago that no matter what you do, you can't force people or tell someone to change how they feel or think about you. Well, if you're doing stuff, you're not going to make someone like you more or not. People already have their minds made up. They already perceive you in a certain way. So just go ahead and be you, because it doesn't really work. You see, that's a trick of the Matrix. The Matrix tricked you on it. The Matrix tell you that, yeah, you got to become this way to get that person or do that. And then like all this stuff on human psychology or human behavior. You got to act this way. That's all temporary stuff, guys. You know, the thing about people, listen, look at yourself. You can find this stuff out by just analyzing and observing yourself, how you act around stuff. Let's look at yourself. You automatically know when someone is sucking up to you. You automatically know when someone is being extra nice to you. Does that make you like them more? Not really. Maybe the opposite. You might like this person fake. They're trying too hard. They say they're thirsty. It actually makes you push you away from those people. But what if you met someone that just didn't care? They're gonna say what they want to say. They're gonna be themselves. They'll agree with you when you're right. They're gonna disagree with you when you're wrong, and they're gonna tell you their point. And they're not gonna sugarcoat it. They're not gonna try to please you. They're not gonna be like, they're just like themselves. What happens to your view of those type of people? I'll tell you what happened. In your brain, these chemicals fire off. Serotonin and dopamine. They rush into your brain, because now your brain says, that person is a person I want to respect. That person is a person I want or I desire. Because now the brain sees that person or that being as a self-assured security. That's what the brain is looking for. Remember how your brain operates, right? Your brain wants to be secure and safe. So when something is secure and safe, it means it has the ability to stand up on its own. That's why people where you go, relationships or anything, you want to be you want someone who's confident and who's self-assured himself. See how that works? Please yourself, not others. Feel satisfied with yourself. Be proud of yourself. Yep, it does, but all of that's going to take time if you don't know how to if you don't know what's driving that problem or that issue. Got a question here. Step it up with Waddle. How do you focus on passing exams for school? I get another one. So how do you focus on passing exams for school? So the same way you do it is, remember, everything is happening now in the moment. So focus on right now in your mind, because you could already see the exam. You can see what you're going to do. Why don't you see yourself passing the exam? What do it look like to pass the exam? And just keep that going. And that's when the energies and everything will align for you, and your subconscious mind will make you get it. So that's how you're going to focus. Anything you want to focus on, do it with visually. Yeah, so winning $5 million on a scratch off is life changing. Remember, we live in a universe that you can create anything, where anything and everything is possible. That's right, the world is what you make it. You are the creator of your reality. When am I going to upload this live to YouTube? Probably sometime next week, late next week. Some affirmation feel fake, like, why am I a 60 kgs winner? What, 60 grand? Why am I 6 feet? Why am I 6 feet? Then it feels fake. Then what to do? Okay, here's something you got to know. First of all, there's nothing fake into your subconscious mind. Actually, fake is a word we make up. So if you're feeling like fake or not true, we're dealing with your ego mind. And the bottom line is this: in order for you to get what you want, you have to create the space to invite it in. And creating the space is what you call faking it to making it. That's all that is in scientific terms. It's creating a space. It's creating a conducive environment that's going to breathe life into your desires. I'll go again. Let me give an example of like what it faking for me. I will use the lottery of this, and I said this before. I use this because this is a great point. When it just feel fake. Okay, look, you see this car right here? When I won the lottery and I got this car, remember now, when I started to manifest to create this, to get this, I had no idea on how. I mean, the lottery, but the lottery was one, but I had no idea it was going to really happen, or if I was even going to get this car. So this car didn't exist to me. I didn't have it in the physical world, but I did have the car in the mental world. In the mental world, what I used to do is I used to fake it until I got this car. How did I do that? Well, I would go out and I would buy a car cover, a car mat, a car freshener, and I don't have this car then. My mind said, man, what are you doing? You're faking it. You don't even have that car. Why are you getting these stuff for a car you don't have? But I know what mine was saying, that was my conscious mind, my ego mind. So what was I doing there? In my subconscious mind, it believed that the car was there for me. So I was creating the space. So you have to create space and ignore your ego when it says you're faking it. That's how you're going to create anything. If you want to create something, you got to see a vision, or you have to prepare. You got to prepare space, man. You got to invite stuff in, man. Create the environment to invite what you want to come in. That's how you're going to get what you want. Does that make sense? Job Jetsons, dropping gems, won a lot of money watching Mark. Awesome. A request to be on your live video. Okay, let me see who's here on the live video. Let me see who I have here, because somebody was requesting me. Mahasura. Okay, let's see if I can get you here. Let's see if you accept, because sometimes I go live and then let's see if you're there for the live. Let me plug it in the live here. So it's, wait, okay, we got somebody here? Are you there? Well, you see. Hello? How often you take out the stuff you bought from your car? See, this is why we go live sometimes, man. Mark, how often did you take out the stuff you had bought for your car? Let me go back to this. Mark, how often did you take out the stuff you had bought for your car, etc., and look at it or hold it? No, that's what I do. Look, I don't do that. If you're gonna do this stuff, guys, you have to be convinced it's gonna happen. When I bought the car stair, the cover, and the mat, I just threw it in my closet, and I never looked at it again until the day I bought the car. Because I had to convince my mind that I had it. If I kept going in there and looking at it again, I'm reminiscing I don't have it. So that's something I do. Once you decide what you want, you put it away and one time and just forget about it, man. Because you have it. You know, if you know you have something in the closet, right? You put your clothes in the closet. Are you gonna go check? Oh, I gotta see my clothes is there. You already know your clothes. You like this. My clothes in the closet, my stuff in the closet. You go get your stuff in the closet. So that's a tip for you. When you're gonna do this stuff to create the space, buy the stuff, create the environment, set it, forget it. Don't go like holding on and reminiscing and looking like, oh man, I gotta get. No, don't do that, because you gotta convince your mind that you have it. See how it works? Hey, from Australia, Abundant One. So this is what I like to talk about. Let's talk about the concept of time. So you're in Australia right now. What is it? The next day there? So I'm Saturday here. You may be Sunday. And we're talking at the same time, but we're doing it in the present moment. See how it works? Mm-hmm. Missouri. How you doing? We got people from Missouri. Cyprus. Greece. We got Greece in the house. How can I manifest my dream apartment in my dream location? The rule to manifest is you got to learn to see in the mind's eye. You got to see in the mind's eye. If you don't see in the mind's eye, so if you want to manifest anything, a house or apartment, put an image in your head of the house or the apartment. Then repeat that image consistently. And then make sure you do it 30 minutes before you go to bed. And then when you get up in the morning again, spend a couple minutes thinking about it. Get your mind seasoned with it to see it's possible. Remember now, your mind is only going to act when it sees repetition. When it sees repetition, it's going to act on it. So visualizing is the go-to location. Someone says visualizing is the go-to location. Right. Go to the location where it's at. Look at pictures of it. Same principle like I did with the car. I visualized it every day, every night, things of that sort. From Scotland, but you're traveling for a year. How can I manifest my dream car? See the car, visualize the car. All over. Cynthia did 4 months of internal work, but took 3 years to manifest her lottery win. Any theories as why that could be? 3 years is quite long. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. 3 years don't even exist. See what happens? If you guys were watching in the beginning, what did the first thing I said? Perception. See how perception can heal you or perception can hurt you? It's your perception. So for me, when it comes to years, they don't exist. So if you say 3 years, listen, when you say 3 years is quite long, you're convincing your mind that manifesting is a long process, that it's going to take time, which is years. I don't do that. So I couldn't answer your question as to why it took her 3 years is quite long, because I don't see years as long or anything. I just see repeating the process until I get a desired results. Now, part of the question I could answer you is Cynthia's work on herself. Internal work. The internal work means that maybe she did some block removal, some stuff like that to keep her mind positive. I can answer that. But as far as when it comes to time, look, guys, my view on time is radically different than a normal person's time view. I don't live in time because it doesn't exist. I'm around it. I pass through it, but I don't live in it. Okay? With the lottery, this is what helps me so much to win the lottery. You have to be patient, man. Some of these numbers, when I play them, I'll jump into the time. One number took almost a year. Imagine playing that number for a year before it came out. Play for a number. Imagine doing that. Who can do that? You only can do that if time don't exist. If I kept looking every day like a year, or I wouldn't have made it, man. So my time thing is it's out the box. I don't see time as you see time. I don't see months. I don't even see days. I don't even see years. I just see snapshots of moments. That's how I look at my world. And that's very powerful. That gives me tremendous power because I am not trapped by a concept that's made up. I'm always in the moment. And it frees up my mind from anxiety, from all type of stuff, and just gives me a freedom to understand that this is all fake. So if anyone wants to do the lottery or anything, I would encourage you to get out of the time concept. See how that works? Mm-hmm. The time stuff is made up. There's no 3 years. That doesn't even exist. Even your age. You have what's called your chronological age or your biological age. The only thing that truly exists is called biological age. Chronological age is they gave that to you. That's not even real. The only age that determines is called your telomere age. The telomere are these strands, and they, depending on the damage, they'll tell you how long you'll be able to remain whatever, young, youthful, or age. And it all changes for everyone else. So back to the question: if your affirmations feel fake to you, it means your ego is at play, and you want to really continue. The only way to get out of that is to continue to repeat it, and then you'll see results. How do you stay inspired through the day? That's a good question. So how you stay inspired is constantly surrounding yourself to new empowering information. Anything that's new and mind-blowing and mind-helping and exposing yourself to just new experiences that will motivate and inspire. That's how you're going to stay inspired. Cage, I have multiple desires that can be fulfilled by money. So what to visualize exactly? Should I visualize all the things which I am going to do with the money? Yeah, so what you got to look for, you got to look at, you innately know it's the money that's going to get this stuff. So just look at what your life would look like after the money. Don't visualize money, because money doesn't mean anything to the brain. Your mind's not going to get excited to help you with money because it's not programmed for money. Your brain is programmed for survival. Remember, money is a human construct. We made it up. So focus on the after effect. Like, for example, with me, money was the bridge to my thing. So I innately knew the lottery, if I win the lottery, I would get a lot of money or a substantial amount of money. So I didn't focus on the money in the lottery. I focused on this car. But I knew that the lottery would give me the money for the car. So I just focused on seeing the ticket say it's a winner and then seeing my experience in my car. That's all I do. I never actually visualize like physical money or dollars. I never do that because it's no purpose. It can't help me. Because when you get money, you're gonna do something with the money. The money, if you're gonna visualize physical dollars, what can you do? You have to use them to do something. So they're a bridge. So I never look at the physical dollars. I just look at what my life would look like with the abundance, because that's what counts. That may be something you may want to think about. So if you're gonna visualize, don't visualize physical dollars because it's nothing. Visualize what the money's gonna do for you. Can you give us a process of manifest a lottery win without time? What is the correct process? So the best way I could do this is I change my concept. I look at things as a repeat in a process. So it's like I'm stuck in this moment of repetition. That's so with the lottery, the best thing I could look at you is like every day is a Groundhog Day. Ever see the movie Groundhog Day? So everything is the same thing. So that shrinks time for me. So there's no like months or years. So I'm in the same process every day, and I'm aware of that. So it gives me more peace because I'm in the moment. I can get more downloads, and then it happens. So that's the simplest process I can do. I don't look at like, man, it's been 6 months, 7 months, nothing's happening right now. Don't get me wrong, my ego will come up and try to taint me with that. But I'm aware of that and I shut it down immediately. So that's an example I can think of. That's the point of why to instruct the subconscious, yes. Mm-hmm. How important is daydreaming? If you can daydream, it's very important. It's like a visualization, it's very powerful. Your mind is convinced it's happening. Oh, who got what? A bit personal, but guys, I was able to manifest bigger breasts. Took me 1 month. It worked. I kept asking, why do I have full voluptuous breasts? Of course, because your cells, they listen to the mind. They can't construct and think logically. That's why I say your mind is reality, guys. Now you know what I mean, right? Hmm? Kajal says, how to act as if, whole day, how to live in my dream house, imagination all the time. All right, to do that, guys, you gotta be in a state of normality. You gotta look at like whatever you want, your dream home or whatever. You have to look at it like it's supposed to happen, and stay in that space of it's supposed to happen. And that's when something's supposed to happen. You don't get high or low. You just like a middle ground. Some affirmations feel fake. What to do? Repeat them every day. They're going to become a belief. The reason they feel fake because your mind hasn't bought into them yet. But if you keep repeating them, you're going to brainwash your mind to accept them. That's all a belief is. A belief is a brainwash of us thinking over and over again. So don't stop. Your mind will get it. What about self-esteem and self-worth mean to you in a way when you're dreaming good stuff for yourself? Self-esteem and self-worth comes down to expressing yourself and being comfortable in your skin. The only thing I can say about self-esteem and self-worth, it comes down to this, is you got to stop caring, man. Caring about what other people think, even caring about what you say to yourself. The problem is we take ourselves too seriously. And that becomes a distraction. So let's see, we have a live. Let's see if we can accept a live here. Let's see if we can get someone requested to join in here. Do you ever think that realistic scenes in dreams can projections flash what of the future? Yeah, because you see the future, guys, is here now. It's just a different point in the block universe. So if you see something you say it's the future, it's just something you're peering in at another point. Does that make sense? So hopefully that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Remember, future is now, 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 now. Present, now, now, now. Time, no, no, no. Does that make sense? Good. I agree. I feel I feel some scenes in my dreams and flash forward to the future, the point. Kejo says, feeling is the what? Feeling is the key, so I feel good all the time. Is it effective? Okay, look. Point is it, man. You're going to feel good, but you can't feel good all the time. So do not strive to feel good all the time, guys. You're going to create resistance. Just feel normal. I repeat that. Do not try to feel good all the time. Try to feel normal all the time. What is normal for your body? Things can only manifest when it becomes normal, when the mind and the body accepts this to be true or a routine. When something feels familiar to you, you're more likely to get more of it. So if what is familiar? Normality is familiar. So if you can make the big dreams more normal, that becomes familiar. When it becomes familiar, the mind says, got it. This is something I'm used to. I can create this stuff without resistance. Resistance occurs when we try too hard to make something big beyond ourselves. Got it? See how it works? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, guys, that you're not gonna be able to figure out if you don't understand how the universe works. Does that make sense? You're not gonna figure it out because you're gonna use a lot of logic stuff. Logic stuff ain't gonna work for you. Let's see here. Got requests. Is virtual 3D headset effective for programming mining? 100% very effective. I mean, you got all the sensory inputs in there. I think they're called VI, what is it, VD, virtual, VH. They're going to be very highly effective on it. Mark, what are your plans, Mark? As far as what? That's another thing. You got to be, when you ask a question, so I'm glad you asked that question. If you say, Mark, what are your plans? That's a general question. So, but you go listen, that when you're talking to the universe, you want to manifest, guys, you want to be specific. That's how you're going to get stuff to come into your life. A lot of us, when we want stuff, we aren't specific. We're more general. We just tell the universe, hey, but you don't tell the universe kind of what you want. So the universe is going to give you all type of weird stuff. So just like human language, you have to be kind of specific and be certain of what you want. So when you say, Mark, what are your plans, Mark? I plan to go get a sandwich. I plan to do some shopping. See, I'm giving you. I plan that. See what I'm giving you? You know, you say, Mark, what are your plans today or after you finish this video? See the difference now? Same thing with the universe. The universe is going to give you, if you ask the universe, what are your plans? It's going to throw a bunch of plans. If you are specific, sometimes you have resistance. No. You're not going to be resistant when you're specific. You shouldn't have resistance if you're specific. Specific is just telling the universe what you want. You say, look, this is what I want, da-da-da-da. So the universe can fine-tune it for you. How long will manifestation take? Depends on your ability to release the resistance of the thing that you're attached to. Things manifest based on how tight you are attached to the thing. The more loose you are of the thing, the faster it manifests. The more tight you're attached to it, the longer it's going to take to come into your space. So the secret to manifest is to release the resistance. This April. April says, I know that everything I want is coming, so I'm expecting it. Accepting it, right? Expecting it. April, that's right. I remember we had some coaching. You're exactly right. You're in the expecting mode. See, that's right. See, what April says is when you expect something, when you expect something, right? You know it's not, 9 out of 10 times is happening, right? Because expecting is kind of like a confirmation to your mind saying that this is already done. So expecting is a great way to start. Abraham says to be grateful in order not to have resistance. Yeah. Gratitude is a key component. She's right. You have to be grateful so that you don't create less resistance. I agree with that. Gratitude is a very key factor. But I was speaking about the totality of things that will create that. And the biggest thing is the being in the present. You got to be really present. If you can't be present, it's going to be difficult because your mind is always shooting you out. See how that works? It's the brain, like your mind has a funny way of decoding reality. It really does, because there's two things that are going on. Your subconscious is in a different world and your ego is in a different world. But yet they have to become together to make one world. And you want to focus on the one that's going to create more for you, which is your subconscious. Do you do any rituals or routine, Mark? You have routines. Yeah, you gotta have rituals. You gotta have routines. You gotta do stuff that's gonna keep you going. You gotta do meditation. You gotta do the things that got you where you are. Casual, we have the ability to change our feeling, so we can change our feelings by our willpower, by not dwelling on the negative thoughts. That's correct. You agree? Yes. That's where willpower comes in, by knowing to change and put your feelings in there. See how it works, guys? So, guys, that's all the time I have for today. I'll catch y'all again next week. But I enjoyed you guys coming here and sharing this live. And we'll talk again. All right?